What if death isn't the end, but just the beginning? Imagine a world where the afterlife is scientifically proven. Sounds incredible, right? But what if that discovery led to millions of people choosing death over life? This is the terrifying reality in The Discovery, 2017. A mind-bending sci-fi thriller that doesn't just question what happens after we die, it forces us to confront the darkest consequences of knowing the truth. Directed by Charlie McDowell and starring Robert Redford, Jason Segel, and Rooney Mara, this film takes us deep into the mystery of what comes next. But is it a masterpiece or just another thought-provoking idea that loses its way? Welcome to Movies Review. If you love deep movie breakdowns, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. Because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now let's dive into The Discovery. Imagine waking up one day to undeniable proof that the afterlife is real. Sounds like a miracle, right? But what if that revelation led millions to take their own lives, desperate to reach what lies beyond? This is the chilling premise of The Discovery, 2017. Dr. Thomas Harber, played by Robert Redford, has made the ultimate breakthrough. Scientific proof that consciousness continues after death. But instead of bringing peace, his discovery sparks a global crisis. Suicide rates skyrocket as people rush to move on to what they now believe is a better existence. At the heart of the story is Will and Jason Segel, Dr. Harber's estranged son. Unlike the rest of the world, Will is not convinced that his father's discovery is a good thing. He believes people are chasing an illusion, blindly running towards something they don't truly understand. Then there's Ila. Rooney Mara, a mysterious and troubled woman, Will meets on a ferry. Isla carries her own scars, haunted by a painful past and drawn toward the idea of escaping into the afterlife. But when Will stops her from making a fatal decision, their lives become intertwined in ways neither could have predicted. Will reluctantly returns to his father's secluded research facility, an eerie mansion where a devoted group of followers continue experimenting on the dead, searching for answers about what really happens after we die. Dr. Harber isn't satisfied with just proving the afterlife exists. He wants to see it. As Will and Isla dig deeper into his father's work, they uncover shocking truths. They realize that the afterlife might not be what everyone expects. The experiments reveal fragments of what looks like memories. But memories of what? A past life? A parallel existence? Or something far more disturbing? As the mystery unravels, Will and Isla's connection grows stronger, but so does the danger. The truth about the afterlife is far more complex and terrifying than anyone imagined. What if death isn't an escape, but a loop? A cycle that traps people in their worst regrets? As the film builds toward its mind-bending climax, Will is faced with an impossible choice. Does he embrace his father's discovery and risk losing himself in the unknown? Or does he fight to break the cycle before it's too late? The Discovery doesn't just tell a story. It forces us to question reality itself. What if knowing the truth about the afterlife isn't liberation, but a curse? Now, let's dive deeper into the themes and meaning behind this haunting film. What if death wasn't something to fear, but an escape? That's the terrifying question. The Discovery forces us to confront. It's not just a sci-fi film, it's a deep, unsettling exploration of what happens when humanity is given proof of the afterlife. Let's break down the film's most thought-provoking themes. The idea of life after death has existed for centuries, shaped by religion, philosophy, and personal beliefs. But The Discovery takes it a step further. What happens when it's no longer a matter of faith, but of scientific fact? Dr. Harber's proof of an afterlife doesn't bring peace. Instead, it creates chaos. Millions of people, desperate for something better, take their own lives, assuming there's something waiting for them on the other side. The film forces us to ask, would knowing the afterlife is real make us live differently? Or would it make us stop living altogether? The film presents the afterlife not as a paradise, but as something far more complex and possibly terrifying. Are people actually moving on to something better? Or are they just trapped in their regrets, repeating their past mistakes in an endless cycle? The answer is left hauntingly open-ended. Just because something can be proven, does that mean it should be? Dr. Harbour's research raises an unsettling moral dilemma. When a discovery has the power to change the world, who decides how it should be used? His intentions may have been good, but the results are catastrophic. His work leads to an epidemic of suicides, and yet he keeps pushing forward, obsessed with uncovering more. His character mirrors real-world scientists who have made groundbreaking discoveries: nuclear power, artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, all of which come with the same ethical question. Will, as his son, serves as the counterbalance. He sees the danger in what his father has done. He understands that some truths are too powerful to handle. The film presents science as both a tool for knowledge and a weapon of destruction, leaving us to decide, should some mysteries remain unsolved? At its core, the discovery isn't just about life after death. It's about life itself. Will and Isla are both haunted by their pasts. Will carries resentment toward his father, blaming him for the chaos he unleashed. Isla is burdened by a tragic mistake that she can't undo. Both of them are running from their pain, from their regrets, from the fear that they'll never truly heal. But throughout the film, they begin to understand that redemption isn't found in escaping reality. It's found in confronting it. The afterlife, as the film suggests, isn't necessarily a second chance. It's a reflection of the choices we've made. In the end, the discovery isn't about proving what happens after we die. It's about proving that what we do while we're alive matters. This is why the discovery lingers in the mind long after the credits roll. It doesn't just entertain, it challenges us. Would knowing the afterlife exists set us free? Or would it imprison us in our own worst fears? Now, let's dive into the performances and direction that bring this haunting story to life. A story as profound as The Discovery needs the right performances to make it truly resonate. Thankfully, its cast delivers a hauntingly emotional experience, bringing depth to an already thought-provoking narrative. Let's break down how the actors and director Charlie McDowell shaped this unsettling journey. Known for his comedic roles in How I Met Your Mother and Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Jason Segel takes an unexpected leap into serious drama as Wilt Zero, the skeptical son of Dr. Harbour. And surprisingly, he pulls it off. Segel plays Will with a quiet intensity, capturing the deep emotional wounds of a man burdened by his father's legacy. Unlike the world around him, Will isn't mesmerized by the afterlife discovery. He's disturbed by it. His restrained performance contrasts with the film's heavy themes, making him a relatable figure for the audience. But does Segel fully break free from his comedic past? Not entirely. There are moments where his delivery feels subdued, lacking the raw depth needed for such a heavy role. Yet, his chemistry with Rooney Mara helps ground his character, adding an emotional weight that keeps us invested in his journey. Robert Redford, a legend of cinema, plays Dr. Thomas Harbour, with a fascinating mix of brilliance and detachment. As the man responsible for proving the afterlife's existence, he radiates the aura of a genius who has become lost in his own creation. Redford's performance is chilling, not because he's playing a villain, but because he portrays a man so consumed by his work that he's blind to its consequences. His calm, almost emotionless demeanor makes him feel more like a prophet than a scientist. And yet, beneath that, there's a layer of guilt, a quiet regret that seeps through in subtle moments. This is Redford at his best. Commanding, complex, and utterly believable as a man whose discovery may have doomed humanity. Rooney Mara is no stranger to emotionally complex roles, and as Isla, she brings a haunting presence to the film. Isla is a woman carrying deep pain, drawn toward the idea of escaping life. But Mara doesn't play her as weak. She plays her as someone looking for meaning. Her chemistry with Segel feels raw and unforced. There's a sense that both Isla and Will are searching for the same thing: redemption. And through Mara's nuanced performance, we see Isla evolve from a lost soul to someone finally willing to confront her past. Charlie McDowell, known for his cerebral storytelling, The One I Love, approaches the discovery with a slow, meditative style. The pacing is deliberate, allowing the weight of each revelation to sink in. He builds an eerie, almost dreamlike atmosphere, where silence speaks louder than words. The cinematography reflects this, using muted colors and dim lighting to create a world that feels both grounded and surreal. McDowell doesn't rely on cheap sci-fi tricks. Instead, he lets the tension simmer, forcing the audience to sit with uncomfortable questions. And while some might find the film's slow burn approach frustrating, it's precisely this method that makes The Discovery feel so immersive. The cast, led by an unexpected yet effective Jason Segel, delivers performances that feel real, raw, and unsettling. Redford and Mara add depth, while McDowell's contemplative direction ensures the film lingers in your mind long after it ends. But is The Discovery a masterpiece or just an interesting concept stretched too thin? In the next section, we'll break down the strengths and weaknesses of the film as a whole. The Discovery, 2017, presents a provocative premise: scientific proof of an afterlife leading to unforeseen societal consequences. However, its execution has elicited mixed reactions from critics and audiences alike. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds a 48% approval rating, indicating a polarized reception. The consensus suggests that while the film's concept is intriguing, it doesn't fully capitalize on its potential. Matt Zoller Seitz, writing for RogerEbert.com, acknowledges the film's ambitious ideas, but criticizes its sluggish narrative progression, comparing it to trying to move through mud. He notes that despite the intriguing premise, the plot unfolds in a circuitous manner, lacking a sense of forward momentum. Similarly, Metacritic reflects a range of critiques, with some reviewers pointing out that while the film boasts a fantastic premise, it lacks the ambition, imagination, or intellect to explore it satisfyingly. The result is described as a gloomy, thinly developed narrative. In review, The Discovery stimulates thought-provoking discussions, but falls short in delivering a cohesive and compelling narrative, leaving audiences and critics divided on its overall impact. The Discovery is a film that dares to ask unsettling questions. It blends science fiction with deep philosophical themes, forcing us to reconsider what we think we know about life, death, and what comes next. Its strengths lie in its thought-provoking premise, haunting atmosphere, and strong performances, especially from Robert Redford and Rooney Mara. However, the film isn't without flaws. Some viewers may find its slow pacing frustrating, and its ambiguous ending leaves more questions than answers. If you enjoy cerebral, slow-burn sci-fi like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind or Annihilation, then The Discovery is worth your time. But if you prefer fast-paced narratives with clear resolutions, this might not be the movie for you. Ultimately, The Discovery is one of those films that lingers in your mind long after it ends. It's not just about what happens after we die. It's about what we do while we're still here. What do you think? Is proof of an afterlife a blessing or a curse? Watch The Discovery and decide for yourself. If you enjoyed this review, give this video a like and subscribe to Movies Review for more deep dives into thought-provoking films. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.